It sounds impossible. A man commits murder, but claims he was asleep the entire time. No memory. No motive. No intent. Just sleep and death. This isn't fiction. It's one of the strangest true crime cases in history. A story that challenges everything we believe about guilt, consciousness, and the human mind. The year was 1987. The place, Toronto, Canada. A man named Kenneth Parks, 23 years old, married, and a father of one, had what seemed like an ordinary life. He worked at a car dealership. He loved his family. But behind that calm surface, things were falling apart. He was struggling with gambling addiction. He had lost large amounts of money. His debts were piling up, and his mental health was unraveling. Yet, despite all this, there was one person who still trusted him completely, his mother-in-law, Barbara Woods. Barbara and her husband were kind to Kenneth. They supported him, encouraged him to get help, and treated him like a son. Then came the night of May 23, 1987. A night that would become one of the most bizarre episodes in legal history. That evening, Kenneth fell asleep on his couch. His wife said everything seemed normal. But what happened next defied all logic. At around 3 a.m., Kenneth got up, put on his shoes, grabbed his car keys, and left the house. But here's the strange part. According to his own later testimony, he wasn't awake. He drove 23 kilometers, all while supposedly sleepwalking. He somehow navigated turns, traffic lights, and streets, without ever fully regaining consciousness. Finally, he arrived at his in-laws' home. He entered quietly, went straight to the bedroom, and brutally attacked Barbara and her husband. Barbara was stabbed and killed. Her husband was badly injured but survived. Minutes later, Kenneth drove himself to a nearby police station. Covered in blood, he walked up to the officer on duty and said the words that still send chills down investigators' spines. "I think I've killed someone. My hands." But he didn't seem panicked. He looked confused, lost, almost like he didn't understand what he had done. When police questioned him, Kenneth appeared sincere. He couldn't recall the attack. He had no reason to harm his in-laws. And doctors soon confirmed something extraordinary. Kenneth had a long history of parasomnia, a sleep disorder that includes sleepwalking and night terrors. Neurological tests revealed that he had abnormal sleep patterns. Even under lab conditions, he entered deep sleep states where he moved, walked, and performed actions, without waking up. It was as if his brain was split, part of it asleep, part of it functioning mechanically. The defense argued that Kenneth was sleepwalking during the crime, and therefore, legally unconscious. He didn't intend to kill. He wasn't even aware he was doing it. Prosecutors, on the other hand, called it absurd. How could anyone drive 23 kilometers, unlock doors, grab weapons, and attack people, all while asleep? But medical experts testified that such behavior, while rare, was possible. Sleepwalking can involve complex physical actions, especially in cases triggered by extreme stress, exhaustion, or emotional turmoil. Kenneth Parks became a medical phenomenon, a man whose brain seemed capable of separating consciousness from action. In 1988, after months of trial, the jury delivered a verdict that stunned the world. Not guilty. The court ruled that Kenneth was in a state of automatism, unconscious behavior, and therefore not criminally responsible for his actions. It was the first time in Canadian history that sleepwalking was accepted as a legal defense for murder. Some called it a miracle of justice. Others called it a dangerous precedent. How do you punish someone who was never awake? And how do you protect society from crimes committed by minds that are asleep? The case of Kenneth Parks became a landmark study in both law and neuroscience. It forced courts to reconsider what intent really means. It also revealed how little we understand about our own minds, and what they're capable of doing when we're not conscious. Years later, Kenneth rebuilt his life. He stayed under observation, remained crime-free, and helped doctors study parasomnia cases. But his story still raises haunting questions. Do we truly control our actions? Or is there a part of us, deep within, that can awaken in the dark, acting on impulses we never meant to have? The case of the sleepwalking killer reminds us that sometimes, the human mind is more mysterious than any nightmare. And perhaps the scariest part of all, is that it can happen to anyone.